So we're back talking about Notre Dame, a subject that amuses me greatly. Because after it burned down, everyone on Facebook was virtue signaling about why do we care about the building? Why do we not care about the babies? Why do we not care about the people dying from cancer? And I'm like, oh my God, there are people dying from cancer? Then why are you on Facebook, you sick fuck? Go and help them, give them a burger or something, I don't know. But how can you be on Facebook when there's people dying from cancer? I mean, this is how you genuinely discuss these matters with these, I'm sorry to say it, but imbeciles. I don't know how else to put it. You know, they think they're edgy. They think they're so edgy that they're scaring the children because, oh wow, this priceless monument to humanity has burned down. And they're like, oh, I don't care because it's just a building. I'm like, what the fuck do you care about? You know, it's like, why are you on this planet Earth? Are you even going to leave something for your grandchildren after you die? And if you are, then why do you expect them to give a shit about your legacy when you can't give a shit about the legacy of people from before you? Now, I understand people not caring, like if they're not from France, if they're not people from Paris, or if they're people of different religions, I fully understand, like them not caring about a building. I probably wouldn't give a fuck if some, temple somewhere in Africa or whatever it would burn down. I wouldn't care. It's like, well, whatever, not my temple, not my problem. But, this is something of a European culture. This building managed to survive for hundreds of years. It survived World War One. It survived World War Two. It survived the savage communist uprising. It survived the Nazi invasion. And it even managed to survive the French Revolution, where people were incredibly atheist back then. They had this thing called the cult of reason. And during that time, the building was transformed into a warehouse. So it had like its religious meaning stripped away. It's very important to know about this rich culture. There aren't that many buildings on Earth, and there was like another virtue signaling twat, another Marxist, going like, oh, you don't care about the, I don't know, some aboriginal site or something like that. And I'm like, man, no offense, but objectively speaking, you're telling me to care more about some holes in the ground than this bastion of Gothic architecture. Like, if you were to tell me to care about some Mesopotamian ruins, I would be like, or the pyramids or something like that. Yeah, I mean, of course, but like, come on, let's be real for a little bit, So, yeah, after the cathedral burned down, a lot of people donated. A lot of more people were concerned about why the rich are donating, even though you could just do some small research using the Google and you will find that the people who donated for Notre Dame donated for hospitals and other causes. But, we need to be edgy on Facebook to show, oh, I don't care about a building. Okay, I don't care about what you don't care. You understand this? I don't. But anyway, right. With that said, a lot of people are talking about now about reconstructing the building, which is something nice, I guess. You should reconstruct it because it's a monument to French history. But everyone that's talking about reconstructing it, everyone doesn't want to reconstruct it the way it was. They want to add new things to it. They want to add interesting things. And all the postmodernists are weighing in, which is what frightens me, to be honest. The number one imbecile, I don't know how else to call him, is a gentleman that proposes to replace the spire of Notre Dame with a minaret. If you don't know what the minaret is that place in a mosque where they go and they go like, Allah, that place, right? Because now maybe it will actually give a purpose. Like I would be willing to say, yeah, I build a minaret, because then maybe you would be afraid to fuck with it. Just because it's Christian, people don't have this fear of committing this sacrilege towards the building. They don't have like this fear of desecrating the place. So maybe if it's Islam, you'll finally feel afraid to desecrate it. How about that? Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, yeah, that's sacrilege. That's heresy. I mean, it's a Christian cathedral, for Christ's sakes. It's like, if the Blue Mosque of Ankara would burn down, you wouldn't put a cross on top of it at the reconstruction. No other religion would do that. Absolutely no other religion on the place of the earth would say, all right, so our temple burned down, we're going to put a cross on it. But no, like this is so progressive. It's just, wow. It's just wow. And apparently they need. Do you know why they need the minaret? Something. Back in the year, what was it? Let me just check. Yeah, 100 Algerians were killed by the French police during the Algerian War of 1961. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's no, like Christians that were killed by some Muslims somewhere that, we can now justify why a cross couldn't be built on top of a mosque. Oh my god, like this virtue signaling and this victim culture. It's so disgusting. Like, this person isn't a descendant of the people who died. This person, none of the people that are probably alive in France or involved with the reconstruction of the cathedral have anything to do with that event. But I guess it's progressive. It's the virtue signaling twat. It's like, okay, fine, right. So, with that said, apparently the guy who manages to get the contract for the rebuilding is a postmodernist. I know, surprise. And he also built a tower in shape of a penis in London. I'm not kidding. Like, there is a vibrator the size of a building in London, okay? And this is the guy that's in line to rebuild the Christian cathedral. Perfect. What can I say? Hopefully he will do a good job if he gets elected. But I also see something else that's interesting. So they call this a striking proposal for Green Notre Dame, right? And as I'm looking at it, it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. Apparently, like, it's supposed to have like a greenhouse, and people can walk in here and they can, see it like a little garden, and it's going to be open for the public. And apparently the roof will host a fruit and vegetable farm run by charities and volunteers in order to produce food for the vulnerable local people. And 21 tons of fruit and vegetable could be harvested and directly redistributed for free each year. And a farmer's market would be held every week on the forecourt of Notre Dame. First of all, I don't think this person understands how greenhouses work. It's not really that simple, okay? It's actually not that cheap to operate one. And secondly, what the fuck does this have to do with Christianity? I mean, I get the idea of free food and all, but I don't think there's any other cathedral in the world that does this. At least it's not a minaret, at least it's not that, at least it's not a penis, I guess. I don't know, I'm kind of torn on this. Like, again, it's supposed to be a religious place, It's not supposed to. It's not going to work, by the way. It's not going to just, have vegetables and give them to the poor. There's like already laws in France that supermarkets have to do this. Like if supermarkets have excess food, there is a law in France that forces them to give that food to charity. Again. What shocks me is that no one just wants to rebuild it the way it was. What was wrong with the way it was? Like, you're implying there's something wrong with the way it previously existed. And this thing where, like, building a greenhouse, again, it's just going to be interesting. Like, there's a ceremony downstairs, and outside there's people walking and like tourists and what. How is that even going to happen? And secondly, it's like you need trained staff for this. It's not going to just be volunteers and stuff. But what really boggles my mind is that there's a lot of people that donated money for the cathedral. A lot of religious people too. And some of them had the shocking expectation, can you imagine, that it would have been rebuilt the same way it was before? Because that's usually what renovating means, like rebuilding means. But I guess, is that like a con for their money? I don't know. The thing is, like, the Pope is probably going to have the last say in it, because at the end of the day, I know it eludes people the fact, but it is a Catholic building, and if it's a Catholic building, then the Pope has the final say in it. But then again, with this progressive Pope, I suppose even a minaret is possible. I don't know. What really shows in all of this is the utter disgust that some people have towards Christianity. I don't think it's just that they don't like it. It's utter disdain and disgust. And it's like, I want to show them a doll of Jesus, and it's like, show me on this doll where Christianity touched you, man. Like, what? Like there was this person who wrote into the Rolling Stones, and I made a video about it. It's like he felt freedom, like it's a sign of relief as the building was burning down, and was like, what the fuck, you know? And it's the same people that again, like they have a lot of respect, and I would even say fear towards Islam. Yeah, fair enough. Then build a minaret. Just if that's what it takes to maintain a monument, so that you can look at it and maybe get shocked and appalled when it's burning, then maybe that's the solution. You know. By the way, I kid. I joke. But all the jokes have a little bit of grain of truth in them. You know, like heaven forbid if the Kaaba was burning. I bet that anyone that was cheering or was making jokes about it or anything similar, they would be banned from social media. You'd have a lot of journalists defending and explaining why it's a horrible thing for humanity that it happened and all of that, you know? But when a Christian monument, and I'm an atheist, again, you guys know this, I genuinely don't care, but I'm looking at the prestige of the building and what it symbolizes for history. Yeah, it's a little bit fucked up. It's like going into Greece, into one of those, temples that survived through time immemorial. And going to like the temple of Zeus or something and try to renovating it, giving it a Christian spin. It's like, no, that's a little bit fucked up. Renovating the Stonehenge and putting crosses on it. Like, why would you do that? It's not cool. Rewriting of history. Do let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm really looking forward to reading from you guys on this one.